We now have a first human to receive a brain chip implant. Florida has grounded every child in its state, and why is big tech firing managers? Here's your tech catch-up for January 28th through February 2nd. Chief Troll Officer Elon Musk is one step closer to fusing the human brain with the power of computing. He announced Neuralink's breakthrough of implanting the brain chip into a human for the first time. He X-tweeted that the first human received an implant from Neuralink and is recovering well. Initial results showed promising neuron spike detection. There aren't many additional details on how the procedure was done or who received the brain chip, but what we do know from another X-tweet is that initial users will be those who have lost use of their limbs, which is a great start considering, putting a brain chip in an able-bodied person might be a hard sell. This is just the start of his vision of curing diseases using the brain chip. The chip's tech is meant to enable the user to communicate with a computer that will decode their brain's message and interpret how that user intends to move their limbs. The concept of this tech so far isn't new. Other tech companies have made devices that have enabled users to bypass damaged neurons in order to move their limbs. The difference here is that the tech has been implanted inside the body. Elon also says that this chip will eventually enable you to control your phone, computer, or any device just by thinking. Wholly intrusive thoughts. I'll definitely be keeping track of the human test results as time goes. Story 2, the most strict crackdown on social media to date. Florida lawmakers approved a bill banning social media for kids and teens. There's been a lot of pressure on social media to make the platform safer, so much so that Mark Zuckerberg just had to sit through an extremely antagonizing hearing of senators that we've already learned many times before are not the most tech literate.
Have you compensated any of the victims? These girls, have you compensated them?
I don't believe so.
Why not? Don't you think they deserve some compensation for what your platform has done? Help with counseling services, help with dealing with the issues that your service has caused?
Our job is to make sure that we build tools to help keep people safe.
Are you going to compensate them?
They shouldn't be the ones hosting these here. Anyway, while proposing the bill, social media addiction was referred to as digital fentanyl and kids shouldn't have it. The bill targets any social media site that tracks activity, allows uploads, or uses addictive features designed to keep you in the app. Opponents of the bill say this infringes on parental rights and will be challenged by the First Amendment. Florida isn't the only state concerned to this degree. New York mayor has created a campaign that's deemed social media a toxic environment. And while that isn't untrue, my 2 cents are we should focus on teaching the youth how to conduct themselves online for the good of their safety and their mental health. Because social media, it's going to be there. The internet's going to be there, and you don't want ignorance making things worse. Similar to how banning AI would have been terrible because kids wouldn't be properly educated on AI. But I digress. There's also been concern of how these rules would be enforced, and if doing so would be yet another breach in privacy. Things like having to send a photo ID in order to even sign up for an account. Last few days, Meta has announced new safety features for minors on their apps that include restricting messaging from strangers and more elaborate parental controls. Last story, a lot of big tech companies are once again announcing layoffs, including the likes of Amazon, Alphabet, UPS, Duolingo, and more. Amazon is also mandating employees to return back to the office for work rather than work at home, something that's been easier to enforce as less hiring is happening in the job market and employers have more leverage. A lot of layoffs are companies attempting to reduce friction and build faster. A lot of roles being cut are management roles for this very reason. As we all know, the more managers on the totem pole, the more ideas have to slow down for approval and, of several individuals. It's also being said that some are being let go because, they've kind of gotten set in old school ways and the world is changing fast. Tech companies are taking note that a company can still run with less personnel, especially with their best personnel. Elon was the pioneer for cutting workforce and showing results, but I'm pretty sure those that have been cut by him, at least smirked after his $55 billion pay package from Tesla was denied by a Delaware judge on Tuesday. And yes, that was a billion. And yeah, quick topic change, the judge found it excessive and pointed out that other big tech CEOs rely on driving value for shareholders, therefore increasing the value of their own stocks rather than receiving pay packages. The Tesla board of directors disagreed, but ultimately the Delaware court found those board of directors kind of biased, and they also had the final say so. I'll see you in the next one.